Oh. There we go.
And it's fixed.
Huzzah.
And just like that, it's fixed.
We did
All
it.
right, everyone.
Let's reboot. Let's try this again.
Yeah.
Our health is good now.
Woo.
It doesn't look like we're getting as much lag up there either. Hopefully the lag went away. Hopefully the audio issues are solved.
I
Do
tested
let
it.
us know in the comments, please, and thank you. Hello. And let's try this again.
All right.
Welcome to the Weekly Word. I'm Morgan West. Today is Thursday, April 25th. I'm joined by...
So I'm Rich Parler, and remember, you're never too old to learn something stupid. Second time I've said that, but in this case, it's really true.
Yeah, it is.
You know, you do have to actually make sure the microphone is connected, otherwise people can't hear you, apparently. We are joined tonight by Alame from the Short Rest Chronicles. Dana, care to say hello? Now that
Hello.
people-
Hello, YouTube world.
Excellent. Today, we're going to be talking about a few different subjects, including casting spells in front of NPCs, endgame,
No spoilers.
no spoilers, you better not, and rolled stats for monsters. But first,
Have you ever,
Yes.
something new today, have you ever accidentally called a person by their PC name in real life?
my answer is yes. I have, quite regularly.
So, first edition beholder, Axolotl Cure on Twitter, posed this question on Twitter, and unsurprisingly, all the responses were yes. Have you, Dana?
I haven't.
No.
I haven't because I've never had a campaign that was long enough
Mm-hmm.
for me to associate that person with their character's name,
Mm-hmm.
which is unfortunate because my most favorite character that I created, her name was Nyx,
Mm-hmm.
and I would love to be called Nyx because I think that's a super awesome nickname.
So then why don't you do like somebody we know that calls themselves by their character's name all the time? I mean, sometimes even calls their friends' parents and leaves a message as their character's
Is that
name.
really?
Yes.
Wow. That's exciting.
I can't say that's something I've ever done. Do you know someone who's done that?
So have you. You know the person too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do you know
Sven.
that you know the person?
I have some ideas, but
Sven.
did he really?
Yes, he did.
I'm not gonna do that though.
But it was a different name. It's a different name he did. You should.
I'm not going to do
do
that.
If you start calling yourself Nick, maybe other people will start calling themselves Nick too.
Yeah, guys,
There's
call me Nyx now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
can
happening.
dig
But
that.
now it's kind of forced.
There's this really cute sequence in The Guild. Did you guys watch The Guild?
Wait, with Felicia Day?
You remember in early seasons when they're first meeting one another, they
Yes.
can't talk to each other as anything other
Because
than
they
their
don't
guild
know
names.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Oh.
Well, it's different when you don't know someone's name and you have to make it up.
Yeah, but they learn it and they still
true.
talk to each
It's
other
true.
in
You're
their
right.
guild names. I mean,
I'm trying to remember their guild names.
Codex.
Codex.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Tinkerbella, which turned out to be her actual name, supposedly.
I don't think we ever really find out because
That's
she's
kinda
very
awesome.
well
Yeah.
withholding.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Have you not seen The Guild?
No.
Oh, you
It's
gotta
on
check it out.
Netflix.
It's
It's
charming.
great.
Yeah, it's
All
very
right.
good.
So, while that's all fascinating, we're going to move right on to the next controversial topic, and it is controversial.
Yes.
Yes, it
As a
is.
matter of fact, this had the unforeseen. We'll talk about the consequences.
Yes.
Can NPCs see what you cast? Thank you to Wes Cordell at Rat King Now on Twitter for bringing us this one. Can players cast spells in plain sight and believe NPCs won't notice? Wes Cordell writes, unless your players have a way of hiding verbal, semantic, and material or arcane-focused dance moves, NPCs can absolutely see it and know magic exists in their world. Don't let your players get away with convenient magics all the time. Now, it's very important that last sentence, which wasn't read when we were having an earlier discussion, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that implies that, yes, there are some cases where, of course, that makes sense, which I agree. But,
Yeah.
let's hear it.
Okay.
Well, if you are in a small village and you cast a spell in front of a bumbling farmer who doesn't really know anything about magic, why would he know what you're doing if it's not obvious?
Yeah,
Why
absolutely.
would you cast magic at a farmer? Why would you do that?
Maybe
That's just
I'm
a horrible
casting
thing.
it near a farmer. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could be casting a wind spell. I wish I had an example of a wind spell.
I'm
My
with Dana
fingertips.
on this one.
So
Absolutely.
you don't. So you admit you don't even know what you're talking about.
Lord have
Wow.
mercy on my soul.
I
No.
agreed to this.
Actually, in some of those cases, I do agree that like there could be rural places where people just won't know what you're doing.
As for somatic aspects of a spell, I mean, you could play that off as another language. If somebody doesn't speak a language other than Common, why would they know what you're doing?
I think the arcane language was. I think it's specifically different enough to not just be a dialect that they may not. It also depends on the. It also
Okay.
depends on the campaign.
Yeah.
Sure.
But to give you an example, which I thought you were going to use, to be honest with you, is in our Wednesday game. If you remember when you were in the farmhouse,
Yes.
and Khan went out and blessed all the land.
Yes. Khan
She
was our
did.
druid.
She didn't know that he was casting a spell, and you guys were able to just talk through it as if it was just normal.
Yeah.
Now, she happened to know that magic exists from other reasons, but didn't realize that he was actually blessing the land and
Yeah.
for good growth.
Yes.
I thought that was the example that you were going to come up with.
That is a great example that I didn't think of, so I'm really glad that you did.
Right. So the example I would like to bring up, which makes this controversial,
Okay.
is when a group of characters parlay with the mayor of a town, and they're standing in a courtyard surrounded by armed guards, not unarmed guards, they have full arms, and there's and the mayor is surrounded by advisors. If you cast a command spell on them, or a suggestion spell, or whatever, I think it was a command, right?
It was commanded.
A command spell on one of the characters that you're talking to in plain sight, he's gonna know you cast a spell at him. I'm just saying.
And that I agree with.
Just because he wasn't telling you something that you thought you needed to know, which it turns out you didn't need to know anyway, he's gonna know, and they'll probably kick you out. I'm just throwing that out there. That's my
I can
opinion.
agree to that.
Yeah,
You know.
that was so specific and petty.
It wasn't petty. It was
It's like
specific.
this situation actually
Listen,
happened.
no, you know what it is it not only did it happen, but then we wound up talking about it. We're still talking about it now.
Yeah.
But we talked about it at New Year's, and we
Was
talked
this
about it after.
in game
It
for
was,
you guys?
It was in a game,
Okay.
and
Players expressed frustration that they were caught using a spell in front of people who were designed to detect magic to save their mayor. So it was.
they were just advised. I mean, you're staring at them in the face, and you cast commands. I mean,
Yeah.
you kind of see it coming.
Sure.
Not to mention, I think the character that you cast command on knows that a command spell was cast on them after the fact. Usually, a lot of those mind affecting spells do.
Yeah.
I do think though that certain spells, depending on what the spell is and depending on what you're doing, I think you should be offered a sleight of hand check.
Yeah.
If you ask for it.
Yes.
If you don't ask for it, why would I give it? And I'm just talking from a DM's point of view, and not that I would want to be against, but if you're not if you don't tell me you're going stealthily down the hallway, you're not going stealthily down the hallway. I mean, that's just a common fact, right? So if you don't ask me to stealthily cast a spell, you're just casting a spell.
And I think there are certain traits where you can do that.
Right. And if you give and if you make it too easy for the players to get away with, well, I just hide it.
Yeah.
Then you minimize those traits, right?
Convenient magics, as he says.
Yeah.
Correct.
Right. Mhm.
Correct. So that was a little bit more than we thought.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on. If you guys have opinions on any of this, by all means, comment
Yes,
them. And this
please.
time we won't miss a comment. Last week we missed a comment, and somebody who comes down to the store who moved away to Pennsylvania came down again. His name is Norm. For those of you out there listening, Norm's here at the store.
Come
If you're
say hi.
local, you can come say hi, talk to him. So we apologize, Norm, for missing that message last week. We'll make sure that we won't miss a comment, will we, Morgan?
Yeah, sure.
That's right.
Wow.
No, I didn't. Not blame. I wasn't blaming her. It was just.
I mean, it
sure?
sounded a little
It
bit
did.
like
It
that.
did
Yeah.
sound that way, right?
Sound
Yeah.
a little petty.
All right, Morgan, don't miss him. I'm going to be petty tonight
Yeah.
because I can be.
All right. All right. Next segment. Let's do this. All right. Why don't we roll dice for monsters? You want to tell us why? Let's introduce the story first.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm good with that. You want to read it?
Sure.
Okay.
No, I didn't notice this.
Okay. No.
Someone noticed
So-
that the monster manual tells you the racial bonuses that monsters have if you consider the starting points as the standard array. For BBEG, which we surmise to mean Big Bad Endgame,
Yes.
perhaps. Let us know if we're incorrect on that point. For BBEG and the like, we roll ability scores for them, etc. But why don't we do it for monsters? Is it just the amount of work needed? Rich, I mean, you're the DM here. Dana,
You're a
have
DM
you
too.
DM'd?
I've never DM'd.
Okay.
Did you hear the opening segment?
No, because the first time we did it, it was super
We didn't say it the
choppy.
second time?
Nope, I was hoping to avoid it.
Oh, we did.
Okay, so what you guys didn't hear the first time around was Dana is looking for her first time around to GM.
They're
DM.
looking for me to DM.
No,
Let's fix that.
she said that she wanted to do it her first time.
She said she really wants to play for a group full of bards.
That's right.
Really
I
wants
said
it.
that was the only way I would be able to.
You're
It's just-
lying
a
and
group
nobody
full of
can
bards.
tell us to prove otherwise.
It's true. There's no proof.
There's no audio. I hope we don't have any lip readers in the audience.
Anyway, so this story is brought to us by DiceGeeks. At DiceGeeks, thank you again
Yes.
for helping us provide stories. But
Quality content.
I think there's two ways to look at this. In my opinion, is one, it's a time issue, right? If I had to roll stats for everything.
Right.
But if you rolled stats for everything, there's a chance that your common run-of-the-mill monster would be a step above the common run-of-the-mill monsters.
Right.
And they have rules for that, right?
Right, yeah, the
You know, if
CR
it's a
ratings
commoner,
get a
you
little
take
bit.
it down. If it's a commoner, you take it down, you give it less hit points. If it's extraordinary, you bump it up and you give it bonuses. If you rolled, you take away your ability to step a monster out and be more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's no reason why you can't just take a regular goblin and make him a slightly better goblin. Doesn't mean you have to roll his stats.
That's true.
You can just bump up what you need to bump up.
Mm-hmm.
You can get, even starting with the standard array would probably be better for some monsters than what they get all the time. But I think it's a combination of both a time thing and you want it to be this is your typical monster. When you think of this is your typical monster.
Right.
That's my thought. And then when you're fighting
Yeah.
someone bigger, you just describe them better and you give them better stats. You give them a +1, give them a better armor class.
I do have to say I like the idea of your players not really being sure what to expect encounter to encounter, though, with the same...
You know, I agree with that, and I've done that with skeletons. Right? I've done that with skeletons. I've increased stats on skeletons just because I needed them to be increased. Because it fit my story better.
Sure.
And DMs have that power.
Yeah.
But I didn't need to roll that. Because what if he rolls and it doesn't fit your story? You're going to change it anyway. as a
I
DM.
do like that idea. I like that idea for like, for example, a fight with a number of bandits. I like the idea of having a bandit that's more dexterous and a bandit that's got a lot more constitution. But you can just play with thugs, bandits, bandit captains, things like that, I suppose.
So what's interesting here, yes, you can. What's interesting here, and I think this is an addition question, and I don't mean a math question. I think it's an addition question because 5e gives you the ability, just do what you need to do. Just change what you need to change
Yeah.
and present your monsters the way you
Yeah.
want to present them. Where like 3.5, if you go back to 3.5, you needed to detail out every skill and stat and spec where it came from, and if you didn't, then you couldn't change the monster from the stat block in the book, because a player would catch you on it.
Wow.
There would be players that would call you out on it.
Wow, that's wild.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've not had to deal with that yet.
What do you think? Any thoughts on this?
As someone who has never DM'd before, I think it would present an interesting challenge to the DM to roll stats for a monster and then maybe generate a monster out of that, depending on what the numbers were.
Oh, you mean so not even have the monster yet? Just roll stats first.
Yeah, and then just see what pops up. If you get a creature that's super dexterous, make up a monster. I mean, why not? That's kind of the fun part of D&D,
That's
especially
what you do.
homebrew.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. But for something that is standard, like skeletons, if you want them to be scarier skeletons, make them scarier skeletons. Like you have the power to do that.
Like give them plate mail.
Yeah, like give them plate mail.
Yeah.
With an armor class of what,
I'm
16?
feeling like a lot of aggression right here.
It's because...
Right in this zone.
Yep, sorry about that.
I guess you can tell who the DM is at the table
Yeah.
and who the players are.
Well, you know what? You can definitely tell that you guys have played in games together. So that's cool. You've got like common experiences to share your perspectives on.
I think with the Short Rest Chronicles, Dana will have been in 3 campaigns.
Yep, because there's one where I played a Dragonborn cleric, half-elf rogue, and half-elf sorcerer. And then in my other campaign, I play a Dragonborn fighter. Do you notice the theme? I don't notice the theme. It's fine.
Okay,
Next up.
moving on. This one's
Adventures
interesting. SlyFlourish provided us with this one. It was a late entry, but we like to write our scripts as we go, so
Yeah,
thank you
why
very
not?
much. Adventures League. Adventures AL may not be what it was. Big and slightly confusing new D&D Adventure League rules buried down deep on this page being the page out of Dragon Magazine. What I will do is I will put this link in our description so you can have it after the broadcast. We can't copy and paste. Sorry, here's the link for some screenshots. Basically, what it's talking about new rules and the boundaries and of Adventure League, and basically the commentary surrounds that it's not the same Adventures League as it used to be. There's more has its own rules, has its own limitations, and it feels like a whole separate game. Now that was taken directly from a couple of a tweet on Twitter by SlyFlourish. You can look it up. That I kind of understand the point, right? Whether I agree or not is a different subject. I do have my own opinions about Adventure League. Is that I do feel I was never very comfortable with Adventure League because there was certain modules you had to use, only certain modules, and it was almost an inclusive, exclusive, although it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be inclusive, right? Adventure League was supposed to be someplace where you can come down, you can get into a game, but they had seasons. So the seasons ran for a set amount of weeks, and you came in at first level and you ran your character to here, and then you start a new season with a new character. You could take the cool thing was you could take your character to conventions.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I've seen that.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Like
So
the card, the number.
yeah, the card, the number, and then you can unlock rewards. There is a new reward system where you can unlock certain things
Right.
and get magic items or whatever. They had to implement that type of stuff because what's to stop you from just writing whatever you want on your character sheet?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It almost makes it feel like it's a video game on a piece of paper now, right? Because you need to have somebody's got to police your character at the game store. Somebody's got to police your character outside, and that's just the outside.
Right.
But there's also good points to Adventures League.
Yeah. Well, I can't speak on that. I've never played Adventures League, but I know you have.
Yes, I actually started playing D&D again because of Adventures League. I
Right.
played when I was younger and then stopped, and I started playing at a store in Plainview. And I started with a pre-gen, and I had my card, and I played for a couple of sessions, but I ended up playing in a different campaign that ran a module. So I'm grateful that they had an opportunity for me to go down and immediately be part of a campaign or be part of Adventures League. I didn't really stay there, so it was a good jumping off point, I guess.
I'll extend that by the way Dave ran Adventures League at his store. I liked it. By the way, being an owner of a store, it's not that I like Adventures League in that it's meant to bring in new players, but if you don't have the right organizers in the store, then it also doesn't work as well. But
Right.
like John, we have somebody here, John, who runs our Tuesday multi-table campaign, and that's great. That brings people in all the time. New people come in, and they can jump in at any point in the campaign.
Right.
Adventures League was never really a huge. It was kind of a thing at the store, and then it fizzled out, and then it kind of came back, and no one ever really grabbed the reins. But Dave, I like the way Dave did it. There's no guarantee that you're going to get the same DM from week to week, and there was no guarantee that you as a player are going to be sitting at the same table from week to week.
That's actually the store that I played at. I played at Dave's store.
That's why I was saying. I think the way Dave did it was very inviting to new players.
Thanks, Dave.
So, when he told me that, I'm like, wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
That was like a really good idea. I wish, I had time to organize it here that way.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the thing is I don't know if we necessarily need it. We have so many D&D games going on.
Well, you play on Wednesdays, don't you? You have Adventures League on Wednesdays?
We do, but people have kind of branched off to kind of do their unofficial
stuff.
thing, right?
Okay.
But everybody's we call it Adventure League night because people are always welcome to come down
Okay.
and
Oh,
join.
that's nice.
There's always open spots.
Yeah, there's always open spots.
All right. Before we move on to the next subject, mention the comment that we got.
Yeah,
I
'cause we
love
don't wanna
this.
miss it.
Yeah, no, this is good.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
ahead, Neil.
Yeah,
Because
Neil.
it's a great idea that you just gave me.
Yeah,
Thank
comments to make skeletons super scary, etch magical runes into their bones, such as an explosive ward. I love that idea. That's brilliant.
Exploding skeleton.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a lot of
That's
fun.
an image.
Yeah, right?
you. Right on the breastplate of their plate mail.
Yeah. Because skeletons need plate mail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
True.
let's move on to the next subject, which is what are we? What are we indeed? What are we reading? Rich, are you reading anything?
Yes, I'm still reading book 2 of A Land Fit for Heroes, called The Cold Commands by Richard K. Morgan. I'm about 2/3 of the way done with the book, and I still like it. It's still very good.
Yeah.
Not a lot of fighting, a lot of talking.
That's cool.
Okay.
Richard K. Morgan does his writes it just like his sci-fi books, where there's a lot more talking than there is anything else.
I'm totally cool with that.
Yeah.
So
Me, I'm still not reading anything. I thought about reading Nailbiter again. I thought about picking it up because I was in the shower this morning thinking, I'm like, oh, I'm not reading anything. Shoot. This is week after week now. It's me not reading anything. So Nailbiter soon, perhaps. I really enjoyed that comic. But
Thinking about
We'll see.
reading is the precursor to actually
Yeah.
reading.
Yeah.
So I think this is
it's like addiction. Being aware that you have a problem.
No.
I'm aware that I'm not reading, and therefore perhaps one day I will read
Yeah.
again.
Yes.
Yeah. How about you?
I am reading The Magicians because I just.
Oh, you're reading it now.
I am. Yes, I am reading it because I just finished watching season 4, which is a great way to segue into our next
Yes.
bit. But I just finished season 4 and it was devastating.
Okay, but what book are you up to?
The first one. So, and it's very.
What part are you
It's
up to? Oh my God.
We just got to break bells.
Oh, I can't wait. It's so exciting.
It's very different than
Yeah.
the show.
Yes, it
but
is.
in a really interesting way. You get to see I get to see the story from the perspective of the main character specifically, rather
Yeah.
than just an omniscient.
Well, I'm curious
so-
how you feel about him. How do you feel any different about him than you did
He's-
watching the show?
It's a lot more depressing, which is interesting because
whiny.
the show is depressing. But it's really good. Watch it. Yeah, it's just totally trying to sell this. Rich, what are you watching?
Stop.
what am I watching?
Yes.
Star vs. the Forces of Evil.
What?
It is a cartoon, and it is an
Oh wait,
awesome
yes, I watched
cartoon.
the first episode of that.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
There is an underlying theme and an underlying plot that goes through the entire series. Yes, there's definitely there's 2 episodes every episode. I
Unit,
guess, right?
yeah, 2
every
stories every
Yeah,
unit,
two-
yeah.
And they're pretty awesome in and of themselves, but within them is threaded a really decent plot, and it's not like it's awesome.
That's cool.
I'm really
I watched
enjoying
the
it.
first. I don't know if it was the first. I watched a
I'm in
episode.
3rd season.
Star versus the Forces of Evil.
Yeah.
Yes,
Where is it?
it is on Hulu.
Okay.
All right.
Very good. I recommend that to everybody out there.
It was cute.
It doesn't matter who you are.
What am I watching? I'm watching The Expanse, and I'm enjoying it. I watched the first episode of Cloak and Dagger just before getting to the story tonight, and I'm not sold yet. We'll see.
Watch more. It's good.
We'll see.
Do it.
I probably will.
I just like to point out that we're now placing bets on when Morgan will actually say she's reading something. The odds are now 10-1 against. Just pointing that out. Also,
Smurfy.
throwing out there that Rat King Now replied to Dana that we are live, that he says that he is very disagreeable on the whole spell thing.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that out since he came through live.
Listening to anything?
No,
No?
I'm not listening to anything.
I'm still listening to WFBU, still loving it. Still spending way too much money buying songs that I'm hearing on the radio to have on my phone at all times.
You
So.
should try WKRP in Cincinnati.
Oh, man. As for one new segment, what are we laughing about?
Yes.
So a tweet I saw this morning from Mustang's Art talking about the two types of players with regards to taking session notes. Can we bring that image up?
Yeah.
Do you want the image now?
Yeah,
Yes.
let's bring that up. Yes, perfect. Absolutely perfect.
And for people who can't read the caption, this is a screen grab from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is also a great show. If you're not
so
watching
good.
it, you should be. And
Let's see, what does it say? It says, writing things down is nerdy. What do you do?
and then the other character replies.
I just forget stuff like a cool person.
And,
I can't vibe with that. I write everything down.
Yeah. When it comes to taking session notes, I am the only person in my campaign who takes
Yeah.
any kind of notes about anything.
Yeah.
And
So-
I can't not.
Yeah.
I have an opinion here.
Yeah, I actually
Oh,
wanted to hear if
surprising.
you had an opinion on
well,
this.
considering that I have been a professional business analyst for 15 years, and my job consists of taking notes and listening to users' requirements and regurgitating them for developers, and then correcting the developers when they mishear what you say. So I used to take. I don't take notes the way I've seen you guys take notes, and I don't do that. I've never done that. Mine has always been picture based.
Okay.
I take a diagram, I'll take a couple of keywords, and then I'll link them with arrows and drawings and stuff
Okay.
like that.
Sure.
And that's the way I've done it for years and years and years. Then there got to a point where I stopped taking notes,
Okay.
and I would remember through audio stimulus. And listening to the meeting, and then regurgitating the meeting back to other people, and then sometimes you type up the recap after the fact, but never took meeting during the session.
Okay.
But I still think taking notes is better.
Especially because, I mean, for me personally, I'm involved in 2 different campaigns, and they have 2 completely different.
How many?
Two? No, 3? 3. Yep. Wow.
Uh-oh.
See, this is
Somebody
why I
should
take
be hurt
notes.
right now.
Yeah.
I just like to
Unless
point out.
it's you. Unless every single campaign is you, then forget it.
It's not.
I'll tell you, I've taken more notes in these last 2 campaigns than I've taken in a long time. In the Short Rest Chronicles, I've taken more notes than any. Well, not than any campaign, but
Yeah.
I've taken a lot of notes so far. But I just like to point out that not only does Dana take copious notes, but she also takes them in different color notebooks, so that way she knows which campaign they go to.
Oh, no, that makes sense.
You see, because I'm a Ravenclaw and I'm kind of neurotic and I need to have everything
I feel you
in
on
places
that.
where I can find them.
I vibe that completely.
So, I'm not sorry. And I actually just bought a new notebook for the Short Rest Chronicles, and it's leather, and it's got a really cool symbol on the front, and I'm gonna color it in with silver Sharpie.
We're gonna have such
I'm
cool
so excited
notebooks.
about it. Yep.
Oh, I love it. We all have notebooks now for that.
Yeah.
Well, Steve doesn't.
Steve has notebooks.
Does Steve have a notebook for it?
I don't know if he has a notebook
Well,
for
now
that.
he'll have to bring it next week for the short rest.
Yeah, now he has to.
The short rest and next week when he joins us, right? Is he joining us for the weekly word
Steve
next week?
is joining us for the weekly word next
Sweet.
week. Steve.
Very
Yes.
exciting.
Get ready. It's tough.
All right, let's move on to the next segment. Plugs.
Plugs.
do it.
So once again, we're going to repeat this. We would like to give a special thanks out to DiceGeeks and tell you that you can find 4 different volumes of his random tables for a total. Speed up and add your descriptions flavor. I was trying to skip over a couple of words and then I stumbled over them anyway.
I enjoyed
Anyway, these random table
go back and
volumes
watch
are
this.
by
What are
Matt
we at?
Davids. You can find.
40 minutes?
Now you know what everybody else is laughing at. They're laughing at me. It's not, Anyway, it's on you can find it at dicegeeks.com or on Amazon Books. The links are in our description, so please go check them out. I'd also like to say thank you to SlyFlourish again for helping us out. with topics, even though they don't know they're really helping us, but they do. I would like to point out that DiceGeeks has messaged us and said that he would like to be on, and we can talk about his books in depth. I would like to do that.
Yeah, I'd love that.
We're targeting 2 weeks from today. I will reach out to DiceGeeks and find out if that's a good time.
Awesome.
But hopefully in the next 2 or 3 weeks we'll Skype in with DiceGeeks and we'll talk. I really want to find out how he came up with all those random stuff, because I love random tables.
Yeah, very
Good
cool.
stuff. I mean, I create random tables because I don't like figuring stuff out.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Cool. Patreon is growing, and you can be a part of it. If you join at the $5 tier, you get access to special content, including write-ups from Alame, this one right here.
What?
Yes. Maps, videos that have not been posted publicly to YouTube, so jump on that. $5 a month. We also have the $15 a month tier for in-store D&D playing, as well as in-store D&D DMing. Both have great benefits. Check them out on our Patreon.
Coming soon to a Short Rest Chronicle near you, the Glass Wall Pass. Just pointing that out.
Do you know any? That sounds very mysterious.
That sounds super ominous.
Okay, great. Well, now I have to join the $5 tier and find out what is going on with that.
It's cheating.
Also, please do support our friends over at the TSR Games blog.
And Game Master Games Dave Vanderwerf and his weekly Facebook Live event. Dave, if you send us a link, I'll put it in the description. Do they have links? I guess it's just to his Facebook page, right? Send us a link to your Facebook page.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the description so people can.
I think you got confused about social media for a second.
Oh
Yeah.
my God!
We've got
Right? No. That's not. You know what I was thinking is because on YouTube you get a link to the video.
Yeah.
Right. I don't just have to send a link to our YouTube page. I can send a link to the video. But Facebook, I wasn't sure if there was a place for him to link to the video or if he just has to link to his page.
Got it.
So.
all right. So
But I did get confused.
quick notes. Let's talk over some varying points.
Okay,
Store
so
stuff.
Yeah.
Legendary Realms Games is hosting Friday Night Magic Draft. Entry fee is $15 and it's a pack per win with a friendly crowd. However, starting this midnight, Jordan, midnight is for pre-release, right? Okay.
Midnight, 5 p.m.
So starting this weekend is Magic pre-release. I didn't put it in my notes. I just remembered it now.
That's okay.
So starting at midnight this Friday, the game store will be open overnight, and it will be pre-release. So if you go to our Facebook page, you can find out all that information. Link to our website, which leads you to all of our media, is on our description below.
Cool. Legendary Realms Games, Jonathan is not hosting Switch It Up Saturdays this week. Instead, you can head over to Dance Dimensions in Hicksville to participate in a Vampire the Masquerade LARP. There is a soft start of 7, and ladies and first-time players are free.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Mondays at Legendary Realm Games include War Machine free play and Magic the Gathering Open Commander play. I don't know how that's affected. I still think that's the same this week.
Didn't you say you were gonna play War Machine, Morgan?
I said that once.
She's
did.
never going to play War Machine.
I'll play if you play.
Let's do it. Not
Let's do
this
it.
one. We can't do it this Monday. We've
No,
got
because this
you're-
Monday
yeah.
is the Short Rest Chronicles season 4, session 4. What was it?
We start a new season for each session.
Yeah. It's like British TV shows. Just one episode and that's it.
Oh my gosh.
What was it again? The glass.
Oh, you're not there yet. You still need to find the seed pod. Glass
That
Wall Pass
seed
is
pod.
coming.
That's C-Pod.
I gotta find it. It's
Yes.
in my.
Somebody's
it's in
gotta find
my,
something.
My blood is telling me find the seed
You
pod.
think so, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Session 4 is streaming this Monday at 7:30.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yes, join us.
Please do.
It's a lot of fun to listen to what they do. Even for the DM.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm not playing against them.
Uh-huh.
I am not.
All right.
I'm completely on your side.
Okay.
I want you to find these things.
Hey Morgan, what happens on Tuesdays?
Tuesdays are our multi-table D&D event. It's $5 to join in. It's included in the D&D player tier as one of the 4 monthly events that you can participate in. You can join us, first-time players for Tuesday Night D&D start at 3rd level. Feel free to bring in your own character if it's point buy or standard array.
Yeah, we like to rip those up.
Yeah, otherwise, you can come in store early and roll your character up. Wednesdays, as always.
They yell. Actually, Neil. All right, I'm sorry.
them.
Let's just back up a quick
All right,
second because we have to wait for the delay to catch up. So, Neil, I was actually told by some players that my attitude of, even though I don't play against them per se, my attitude like I do play against them would not be perceived very well, and that I should change my style.
Again, not petty at all.
No, I'm just. So, was this or was this not the conversation that was had?
This was a conversation that was had. I
My
personally
point.
did not feel that way. But Richard, you betrayed them with that. Neil's comments are
Neil,
gold
yeah.
right now.
Yes. Thank you very much,
Fantastic.
Neil. And thank you for being on my side for a change. Actually, I will have to say that it is a different, it's a different experience because at least with the Short Rest Chronicles, I don't have players that I don't want to succeed. It's so horrible to say.
Oh,
I want these players to succeed. I've DM'd a lot for some people that I think all my campaigns are at a point where I want the players to succeed. That's lame. Thanks, Neil. I hope we were talking about them.
Oh, man. All right, let's
I
move
think we're at
on.
Wednesdays now.
Yeah, Legendary Realms terrain is actively working on building ice cavern terrain to add to permanently add to its terrain line.
Yes, and I'd like to add here, I'm going to take the second part of this.
Yeah.
One should not be distracted and be on Twitter at the same time. So apparently I tweeted out and I took up a challenge that we would recreate, because I always have wanted to, that we would recreate the Tomb of Horrors map with Legendary Realms terrain. So I tweeted it. I'm going to do it. I will build that terrain.
Sweet.
It's on the internet, so it has to be true.
It has to be true. It's on the internet. So we will be building... the Tomb of Horrors map with Legendary Realms terrain.
That's really cool.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah,
That's
that'll
gonna
be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
That could be one of our events of the year later
No,
on.
nobody's
Why
gonna.
not?
No, I'm gonna put plastic on it, and that'll be the show terrain,
Okay.
and then there'll be the guest terrain.
Okay. Great. Cool.
Like, this is the fine pieces, and
Yeah.
you can have this.
Yeah.
Right, just like the towels in the bathroom. Don't use that. That's the show towel.
Yeah, right.
Or the show soap.
Yeah. So why is it there?
Yeah.
If you can't use it.
It's for your guests. Your guests should be allowed to use that soap. God damn it. All right.
I did no such thing, Smurfy Power. I happen to agree with those statements. I actually happen to agree. Even I, the all-knowing DM, can evolve as a person.
All right.
Back that truck up quick.
All right.
All right, moving on.
Yes,
These are supposed to be quick notes.
Yeah, we are preparing for some upcoming conventions, including DexCon, Gen Con, Long Island Retro Gaming Con. More details will come as they become available.
Skip over this one, and I'll do lastly as the lastly, but talk about
Okay,
the
yes.
next one.
Lastly,
Not lastly, almost lastly.
second to lastly.
Penultimately.
No,
yes.
talk about the wizards.
I know, I'm going to.
So you can't say lastly, it's right there.
I just said second to lastly. Damn it. Listen to me when I speak.
Why you don't listen to me?
Wizards of the Coast just announced that they'll be opening a studio in Austin, Texas, to be led by James Olin, and I think that's pretty exciting. I think that means exciting new things are in the future. It means hopefully more jobs in the industry. I know a few people, if it is RPG based, would be very interested in, that I'm friendly with on Twitter, who are more than willing to relocate.
So he comes from BioWare, which is a video game development firm. My initial thought is that the new IPs that he'll be coming up with are going to be video game type media. I hope that that this new studio doesn't go down the path of just trying to reproduce the old things that BioWare used to produce, as opposed to coming up with new ideas and really putting out things that people want to see now. What those specifically are, it could be a whole bunch of different things. I don't know exactly, but we hope that there's going to be good things for them. That's all you can do is hope.
Yeah.
The other thing is they may have put it out in Austin, Texas, to get it as far away from Seattle as they can, because they didn't want it near their normal headquarters.
That's true. All right, now you can go lastly.
Lastly, with only 0 days to go, do you need to see Captain Marvel before seeing Avengers Endgame? In short, it's too late. You have to see Endgame now.
I mean,
In long, yes, you should see Captain Marvel.
people may not have their tickets to Endgame for a while. So
That's
they
a
might
shame.
be
Get your
able to
tickets.
see- The whole internet crashed the day the tickets were sold.
Didn't crash for me.
That's
I
true.
got tickets. As a matter of fact, when we're done here, we're gonna go get coffee and we're gonna go see the show.
That's really exciting.
Yep.
I took the next day off of work for this.
Yeah.
That's really exciting. Actually, I'm off tomorrow.
11
but I
p.m. We only have 45 minutes. We're gonna wrap this up soon.
Yeah. All right. The wrap up.
Stop talking. Come on.
Oh my God. Thank you for watching.
Our shenanigans.
Yes, you can follow us on a number of different social media platforms. You can find us on Twitter at LR Terrain. You can join Patreon and become a patron at LR Games. Or you can follow us on Instagram at Legendary Realms Games.
Just copying so I remember to put the link that I was talking about before into the description.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I am Rich Parlow.
I'm Morgan West.
And I'm Dana Reyes.
And thank you for joining us tonight, Dana. It was fun.
It was.
I hope you guys had fun out there.
Anytime.
Thank you, Neil and Smurfy Power.
Absolutely.
3 apples high.
All right.
We
Well,
will talk to you again next
Have
week.
a great week, and we'll see you next week.
We will see you next week. Probably should stop the stream now, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
You want me to stop the stream?
I waved goodbye, so yeah.
Take
Therefore,
care.
stop the stream.
Okay.
Don't cross the streams.
You have to press that first. It's still live.
It's still live?
Yes.
Don't cross the streams.
There